Hello, hello. Oh, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Let's see who we got. Who we got? Come on. Hello, 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 good people. Let's see who we got. We got 8 people. We got 8 people. Shalom, shalom. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. We got Shalom Solomon 144. How are you, sir? Let's see. We got 9 people. Y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all long today. Oh yeah. Before we get started, I'm gonna talk about what I got in the mail. What really got from Amazon today. I'm really excited about this. All right, come on. We got 11 people. 11 people. Let's see. Shalom, set apart. Yama, Shalom. Darnell, Shalama. Tashia, hi. I know Solomon 144. Shalom, shalom, my brother. Let's see who we got. We got 12 people in here. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing well. Yimmy. Okay, thank you, Yimmy. All right, Yimmy rhymes with Demi. All right, Yimmy, how are you? All right, Parson, good evening. All righty, we got 15 people here. We can get started. So first, y'all, I want to let y'all know, look what I got in the mail. Well, not in the mail. I got it from Amazon. It came today. So I'm excited about that, family. All right. I cannot wait to read this by, I hope y'all can see this, by Only Love, Alston, Prophetic Whirlwind. And here's her picture in the back. And I just got it. So I'm excited about that. I hope y'all can see it because I know it was a glare. All right. You know, I'm the late night news person. Hello, hello, Rabbi. Hello, shalom, shalom. Yes, she is. She is. She's an amazing person as well. If you ever get to meet her, she is an amazing person. She always keeps me on point too, because you know I'm gonna come late. She said, "Sister E," I said, "I know. Pray for me. I'm gonna get it together. I'm doing better though. I'm doing better." Yes, I'm excited. She's actually gonna mail me one. She's gonna mail one to my daughter as a graduation gift. So she said I'm gonna give her my, the book. She's gonna autograph it for as a graduation gift for my daughter. So that is so sweet. Hit 1 if y'all can hear me clearly. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Hit 2 if I'm not clear enough. I know I'm better now since I have the microphone. So, okay, cool. Yimmy. Murray J, what's going on? What's going on? I know y'all enjoyed Pastor Kelly yesterday. He's very good. He's a very good teacher. I've learned a lot from him. All right. TH. All right. Let's get started. So, y'all, I have been, you all, stop saying y'all. Y'all know I'm from the South. I've been kind of, I keep up with the news. Yeah, they hit his video. What's funny is, or what's interesting rather, about Pastor Kelly's, you called out Mr. Everybody been calling out Eric Mason. He not gonna speak. He gonna go back, and he in hiding right now. He is supposedly on a vacation. So I think we done got on his nerves. So he said, I need a break away from these Israelites. But yeah, everybody been calling him out. Oh, you're in Philly. Ooh. Saints can't take that. He can't take that. Yeah. Yeah, this gonna be interesting. He avoids those conversations. He love to do videos about us, but he avoid them. He avoid those conversations, but he will quickly do a video. Congregation Beth Yeshua International. Oh, cool. I gotta come out there. When I come out there, hopefully I'll be living close to that area. I'm gonna have to come and check your assembly out. Yeah, okay. I think I've heard of your assembly. I'm gonna have to come out there and check it out. Rabbi Yosef, yeah, Israel. I will definitely come by and check it out. Like I said, I was planning to do a few things where I was gonna come and visit different assemblies and probably have like a sit down conversation with the moray or rabbi. And we have a conversation about, some of the things you teach and different, just to introduce yourself to the people. So, but yeah, what's funny about the video with Pastor Kelly, I had just went out there when the notification went up. And when the notification went up, I saw that it was taken down for hate speech. I said, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, I was a little shocked. I ain't gonna say I was really, really shocked about it. Let me see if my camera's right, because it looks like it's covering my forehead. No, that's just how I got my screen up. But I called him as soon as I saw that they took his video down. And when they took his video down, I said, "Yeah, they didn't get started. They didn't get started shutting these videos down." But I think he got a plan B he finna work on. Yacoba had sent me a message and asked me to let him know that he probably needs to have an additional YouTube channel. And he called me after Yacoba sent me that message, and I told him, and he said, "Oh, okay." But I thought I told him that earlier though, because I know that Truth Camera Action has 2 channels, and they shut him down because of Vlad TV, and then he's just continuing on with his other channels. So we gotta always have a plan B, because saints love to shut us down. So I have was it BitChit? I have that account too, where I have videos there. So and I hadn't told him about that. I'll let him know that. I'm gonna ask him about that one too. Vimeo. I was thinking about that. So let's see. But yeah, they shut him down real quick. When I was talking to him right before I did this live, he said, "Sis, that's why I was kind of being careful with what I said on your channel, because they coming for accounts." I told him, I was like, "Look, eventually, right now, today it's you. Tomorrow, it's gonna be somebody else. So, it's gonna be eventually all our channels. They're gonna probably try to come in here in a little bit. So, yeah, we're gonna have to do that." That's interesting. I'm gonna look at Vomu. I hope I'm saying it right. I can tear some words up. So, but I wanted to talk about something a bit with this looming COVID-19. Everybody's like, Sister E, why you keep talking about COVID? Because right now, COVID is the disease that's not the biggest concern. It's you know how you have an earthquake? VMOO. I hope I said that right. Yimmy, you cool with me. You helping me out. But Vimeo, I think that's what I'm saying. But with that being said, what was I getting ready to say? You know how they always say after the earthquake, the tsunami is the worry? The earthquake is COVID, but the tsunami is coming. It's credit, job loss, money management, wealth management, stock market crashing, economy. It's going to be a lot of other things coming outside of just this COVID. This COVID is just the earthquake. It's the tsunami that's coming. And usually in those situations, those catastrophic events, sometimes it's not the earthquake that takes you out, it's the tsunami that takes you. Yeah, it's tsunami that takes you out. So with that being said, the tsunami is coming and people don't see it. All these people that are losing jobs is going to impact everything. It's not just going to impact the individual, but it's going to impact everyone else involved in it. Let's say that the unemployment rate rises past the depression. Businesses are going to be closed down. Logan's is already gone. A lot of things are impacting right now. All impacted right now because of that. Also, what I've come to the realization of, and just watching the news and listening to different things, the reason why they want these schools to open up. These parents are literally looking for daycares. I hate to say it. That's all I'm hearing is the kids got to go back to school so we can go back to work. I'm like, shalama. But Ashande, it is going to be very interesting. The problem and the concern again is the economy. Everybody's worried about the economy. Everybody's worried about, the money, where we're going to stand as far as, like I said, the economy, ultimately. You have to be very, 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 very careful. We got to be very, very mindful and be aware, watch as well as pray of what's coming. So, with that being said, I got one video I want to show y'all. It's a little 5-minute video. Hold on.
The Dove Beauty Bar makes my skin glow. I've heard Serena.
Hold on. Get past this little infomercial. All right. Let's see. Oh. Stop this for 1 second. So. Okay. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. Okay. So here we go. Let me share my screen. Evictions. Like, y'all know I've been talking about these evictions, right? Yeah. We'll talk about it after y'all see the video.
This country have festered, often ignored. But this pandemic has exposed all that. Many of the ailments that Band-Aids failed to heal, problems that disproportionately affect poor and vulnerable communities of color, like access to health care, food, and most recently, America's housing crisis. An increasing number of renters across the country now face some grim realities as emergency eviction moratoriums run out and housing courts reopen. For the unemployed, the up to $600 a week CARES Act unemployment checks, they run out at the end of July. As a result, tonight on this, the final day of June, millions of Americans are now in limbo as they struggle to maintain a roof over their head. In Louisiana, a moratorium on evictions ended June 15th. Arcana Whitworth went to New Orleans, where residents have long been grappling with a housing crisis.
Oh, give me interesting thing. You brought up 1984. I watched the movie 1984. Yeah, they're trying to lead to that. It's so you brought that up. Yep. I saw the movie. I didn't read the book, but I saw the movie. And if you've never seen 1984, watch it or either read the book. I'll go back to it. But yeah, they're trying to lead to that.
Way before COVID-19. Been grabbed June 15th. Arcana ahead. In Louisiana, a moratorium on evictions ended June 15th. Arcana Whitworth went to New Orleans, where residents have long been grappling with a housing crisis way before COVID-19.
I just want people to know that it's actually happening, that this is real life. Like, people are actually getting kicked out on the street.
Families in the Big Easy are facing impossibly difficult decisions as this pandemic enters its 5th month.
They give you food stamps when you buy food. Right. That doesn't, you have nowhere to put the food.
Shankaya Phillips lives in an apartment that she says the ceilings have always been leaking, but it's home. She has a 6 and 11-year-old and has been out of work for nearly 3 months since the clothing store she worked at closed. And now she has to worry about eviction every day.
Where do you get help from? Where do you turn to when you can't turn to a shelter anymore? When you can't, the home you live in, and you can't afford. You have nobody to look up to, no family members. It's scary.
A new estimate found that she is one of about 28 million Americans at risk of eviction. as this COVID-fueled recession is creating economic havoc across the country. Here in New Orleans, the eviction rate is twice the national average. A study found last year that in some neighborhoods, it's even 4 times higher. Now with unemployment 4 times higher than before the pandemic in New Orleans and the federal boost in unemployment benefits expiring at the end of July, the Louisiana Fair Housing Department fears the city is on a collision course.
Folks here know what's coming down the pike. We unfortunately have had more than our share of experience dealing with disasters and governmental failures.
Kashana Hill and her staff are working tirelessly to keep people in their homes. 53-year-old lawyer Winfield is one of them.
You know, there's a certain comfort in having this slow place. I can't imagine being without it.
Southeast Louisiana Legal Services has seen a 100% increase in their eviction cases, and 41% of Louisiana renters say they didn't think they could make June rent.
This ongoing crisis was really not treated as a crisis. Now it's being pushed to the level where it must be treated as a crisis because of the pandemic.
Housing rights advocates fear what's coming next.
We're really concerned that we're going to see an avalanche of evictions as the courts open back up.
And landlords are also hurting.
I think it's going to kill them, and I think it's going to kill the city.
Kim Valine has been a landlord for nearly 20 years. She's never once had to evict someone until now.
I'm not a bad guy, and I really like my tenants and take care of my property, but you've got to understand that, certain people are taking advantage of the situation.
She's currently in the process of trying to remove a tenant who she says has not paid rent and has an illegal pit bull. She wasn't able to take any action until the moratorium on evictions expired. In the end, she anticipates losing $15,000, and she still has to pay her mortgage, property taxes, and insurance. Impending evictions have the city on edge, and health leaders are taking notice.
Every economic impact has a public health impact, and so certainly putting more people out of their homes would be devastating.
A problem New Orleans Health Department director has long been trying to solve and telling anyone who will listen.
We need help, and we're going to need it soon.
For so many mothers like Phillips, the dream is simple.
I want to raise my kids with a nice little fence in the front yard and where my dog can run around and not have to worry about them getting shot.
But right now, it's out of reach.
I mean, it makes you want to leave the city of New Orleans, but who wants to leave a place they love?
Kana Whitworth, ABC News, New Orleans.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage.
Family, what's interesting is this. My question is, if she's going to evict the one tenant for having the pit bull, which you do have to abide by people's rules. Come on, y'all. Abide by these folks' rules. But if it's him, that's one thing. But she says she doesn't want to see her other tenants get evicted. My thing is, if you have a rule that you can't have pit bulls, you should be able to evict them. I think it's a little bit deeper. She was saving face, because I've seen cases where people have been evicted because they've had a dog in their apartment that they weren't allowed to have. She's using, I think, in my opinion, she's using that as a way to make herself look like, I don't want to kick these people out. But because of one person that has a pit bull, I'm going to have to kick you. Now, I'm wondering if she's just going to go for that person. Or is she going for everybody she's, whoever is staying in her property that cannot, pay. This is going to be an interesting time, family, because I saw this coming when they were giving those waivers, I call them moratoriums, where people were able to stay in their places until COVID subsides and they can go back to work. The way things have been going here recently in the past couple of months, even if COVID was to ease, it would take at least 6 months to a year to get the economy in a stable place. It wasn't going to be the end of COVID, go back to work, everything. No, This 3-month train of people losing their jobs, then not to mention people, businesses closing, which means more job loss. It was not going to be an overnight thing. I kept saying, why is this waiver to pay rent and allow people to stay in their places are only for 3 months till June? I said, if they do that after we come out of this hole called COVID, people still got to find jobs. The job market is going to open up. And this is what I was thinking. I said, the job market is going to open up, and it's going to be a slow open because they're still scared. And then once it's open, they still have to recover whatever they lost for this year. They've lost whatever gain that they had this year is gone. So right now it's like, let's just make it to the next year and count this year as a loss. So if that, it's like cooking a frog. But it's just, it takes a minute. It takes a minute. If you know anything about companies, when they lay off, they're not looking sometimes to rehire those roles or a similar role until the following year, because their budget for the year is already etched out at the beginning of the year. And they've pretty much ran their budget to the ground right now. And guess what? It's next year's budget. They'll say, okay, either we're going to bring in new people on the new year budget, or we're going to stay where we are so we can get back and get whatever we lost that last year, get that, gain it back the following year. If they put people in roles, we're only replacing them for someone leaving and going somewhere else. We got to fill them. So this is what I'm seeing. And another thing, I'm out on LinkedIn, and I noticed something in LinkedIn that a lot of people are complaining that jobs are posting on LinkedIn, but these are old jobs. And they'll get an email saying, you're no longer considered for this job, or this role has been filled. And then guess what? A couple of weeks later, this job comes right back on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, people are getting, if you know anything about LinkedIn is a very, very, very professional social media site. If you're part of LinkedIn, you have to watch what you say, because recruiters can see this. So it's very political, very, very political. Very political. If you've ever been out there, it's about recruiters. That's where it's like it's social media for corporations and recruiting firms and business topics. And that's what you join LinkedIn for. You join them to meet people so that if you need a job, you can find something. Now LinkedIn has now turned into, I've applied for these jobs and nobody's answering. Why are these jobs not responding? It's who knows who most of the time. Yep, it is like that. It's like I've applied for jobs and nobody's responding. And what's so funny is the job I got is the recruiter found me. I didn't apply. He found me. Praise the Most High for it. But it's that hard right now. Like, if you go out to LinkedIn, they have a way where you can apply. And if you apply through the site for the company, LinkedIn doesn't have visibility, but sometimes they have something called Easy Apply. Easy Apply means I can go, my resume is already uploaded on LinkedIn. I just click a little button, bam, the resume is gone to the company. Well, guess what? It also gives you a head count of the number of people that have applied for this job. I saw one job, it was out there for like 30 minutes. 300 people had already applied for it. After it hits to that point where 300 people applied for it, you might as well count it as no. And it usually just says more than 300 people. After that, you're like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. It's going. The things that I'm hearing right now, it's like, it's not the blue collar worker, it's the corporate white collar. It makes me think about Reaganomics. Y'all remember back in the 80s, these blue collar employees were making big money. My dad actually got caught up in Reaganomics. He worked for John Deere. And you could work for like John Deere, International Harvester, Firestone. They were just normal, blue collar workers, but employees, but they were making money to sustain whole families. This was in the 70s and 80s. And when Reagan came in, that ended right there. People forget about that. The reason I remember it because my family got impacted by it greatly. My dad worked for, like I said, John Deere. My dad was making enough money to sustain a household. My mom did not. Well, my mom had her own business, but these guys was making money, and they were making big money where you could have one parent working and another parent staying at home. This was in the 80s. When Reagan came in and cleaned the house the way he did, and a lot of those jobs got outsourced to other countries. These major plants, box plants, was shutting down left and right. And I saw how long it took my dad to get to a place where he could find a job and make decent money. But I even asked him here recently, we talked about it. I said, when you were working at John Deere, I said, did you make a lot of money? He said, yeah. My mama said, the best health insurance you can think of, where you could have a baby for free. They don't even have that no more. I don't even know what that sounds like. Because your insurance was 100% coverage. I asked him, I said, have you ever been able to find a job like that ever since then? He said, no. I said, wow, this was in the 80s. So they did away with blue collar. Because really, blue collar, they have not been able to make money like that, like they could in the 60s and the 70s, working in a warehouse or working in a steel mill or working in a box plant work. They have not been able to get to that place since the 70s. The next wave is this community. Corporate America didn't see it coming. And the sad part is there was no way to really see this coming. There was no way for you to say, I can understand if the stock market hit, it was another indicator or a sign like stock market or, crashing or going to war, something. This came out of nowhere. So even corporate America couldn't have been prepared for this. And when it came so fast and so swift that you couldn't even try and find a way to get yourself together on this one. You couldn't find a way to get money. Well, I'll work for a little bit. I know I'm coming next. Let me go ahead and save up some money. No. COVID came. Within a month, layoffs came. Because COVID hit like in March. April, everybody was still kind of like worried, but they wasn't quite. Well, March, they were worried. April is when we started seeing layoffs, people having problems with money, people having to go pull money from 401k, having to do everything possible to be able to make it. And they kept saying, this is just going to be for a little bit. This won't be long. And we're here in July? We're getting ready to roll into August. And I said this when I was, because I was impacted because I had already found a job as a consultant and was getting ready to take another job that got shut down. But everybody kept saying, oh, it's going to get better right after, the summer or whatnot. I kept saying, I said, these companies are hit hard. It's going to take next year's budget just to recoup from what you lost in this budget. They already hit a loss. And I said, it's going to take 2 to 3. It's going to take about 3. I said, it's going to take 3 years to recover from this. And I think that's just not its reality. When you have this much of a hit where the service industry, like for instance, I'll use this as an example. We on lockdown. A typical restaurant that's open take in, I want to say 100 to 200 customers a day. That's normal. Now, guess what? It's down to almost less than 20 customers. Guess what? The service industry is hit with that restaurant. Part of the service industry being hit is that restaurant being hit. Employees lose their job. Food manufacturers, I don't have to order as much food as I normally would. So guess what? Cisco, all these different companies that supply food, Tyson, different companies that supply food, they're hit. Now, paper products, napkins, anything, styrofoam plate, containers. I don't need that many. Even though we're doing take home, or you take your food home, it's still not that many people out buying as much food as normal. Paper companies hit. It was going to be a domino effect anyway, and I don't think people saw it coming. Schools, great example. People say that the safest job is working for the Board of Education. Guess what? Anybody that's doing any vendor or contract work through the Board of Education or any school system, they're impacted. The company I worked for dealt with kind of like cheer and all uniforms for schools. The last job I had, the little quick contract job I had, football uniforms, all that. Guess what? They got hit. Because guess what? When we saw that the schools was closing and I was in a meeting, I looked, I said, yeah. We were looking at the news and everybody's like, oh, we can do another project. We're going to be good. I knew then, I said, this is not good. Who would have thought schools, people dealing with schools would have issues? You get what I'm saying? This right here hit so hard and it hit so many different places that there's no way you can be able to maintain. The only place I would say that would be the safest job, and nothing's safe right now, is the hospital, healthcare, medicine, pharmaceuticals. But guess what? Everybody's going to make a mass flood to those industries. There's so many they can hire. With that being said, all this is going on, and these are the tsunamis. These tsunamis are coming in multiple waves. And I don't want to be gloom doom, because I'm not gloom doom, because we know the Most High is our keeper. But we have to look at the writing on the walls so that we can say, yeah, it was another company that closed. And I said, wow, Best Buy started closing up. You're right. You're going to make me get me a truck. He said these are the safest jobs. You're going to make me go get, but you know what? Yeah, they are the safest jobs, because they got to get stuff, to the stores. Because guess what? We buying everything we can off the shelves. There are families who hide their vehicles in garages to keep the repo man away. Yeah, but guess what? These cars are operated by computers now. You can track these cars. And you might as well not even hide it, unless you got some dude in the work for a sideline garage to take out the tracking system. Satellite radio is going to tell you where you at. If you have any form of satellite radio, it's going to trace you. It's so much out here that, childcare won't open. Things that we would consider to be safe, it's not safe. And the safest job that anybody said they can have is school industry. Now, the next thing is going to be an impact is it's going to be the school industry, but it's more so of, can you move with the time? Things are getting ready to the point where everything's going to have to be virtual. We got to be real. When they open them schools up, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have to close them right back. Soon as they open these schools. So parents, if y'all buying these little school supplies, I say buy enough to last a week. Don't go out here and buy 20 packs of paper, 100 packs of paper, a whole bunch of pencils. You best to get you a pack by pack basis, because as soon as these schools open, they closing. That's the realistic part of it. You gotta be smart. You gotta hear the Ruach. When the Ruach gives you guidance and wisdom and comfort, you got to hear it. And sometimes the Ruach is telling you, watch the news, pay attention, be prepared. I ain't trying to scare everybody. I ain't trying to be gloom doom, but you got to be watch as well as pray. Yeah, Trump. Yeah, Amazon is still hiring, but I'm working for corporate. I found out they like the young, they like the fresh out of college. But yep, churches are hurting right now. Yep, Trump is threatening to cut school funds. These colleges and these schools, I was talking to my daughter about this, y'all. I said, the schools closed in March. They was trying to get everything back together through the summer. I mean, throughout the school year by, helping with the online training. I mean, online classes, virtual. They were not prepared for that. But while the students was teaching, where was the board planning? The money that you receive from Trump or government funded money, you can start building up your network environment. Start building, server farms, being able to manage the bandwidth of people going into the virtual environment and going to virtual school. But instead, they just sat, and I'm not blaming all of them, but I believe some just sat and watched the news and said, we're going back to school in August, and looked up August, we're still in the middle of this. So right now, even if they did, I really believe if they did virtual school, some of these schools don't have the capability as far as their network to be able to handle that much traffic. They should have been doing that instead of, and one thing I will say about the board, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the board goes and they don't go get the cream of the crop with IT. Sometimes. When they go get someone, they go get them, and that's all they doing is duct taping it together. Some of these websites I've seen with these schools, I just be like, y'all still using SharePoint? The way that they use it. They resisted. They didn't want this change. They want people to come to classrooms. These teachers don't want to come in here and teach. What? If I was a teacher right now, I'd be trying to change my job. I'd be like, I'm good. I'm not going in there for Jimmy to cough on me because he mad because I didn't give him an F. We good. But I don't think they were prepared. I don't think they were mentally prepared. And I don't think they were prepared as far as the technology. The funding could be reallocated if the president wasn't special, but could be reallocated towards building a virtual environment for the students to learn. But we, as most people, cannot deal with change well. Paper money finna bounce. You already know. Only thing you can do is I'm just saying day-to-day things. When paper money fade out, it's finna be real interesting. I say, reinvest, buy gold, buy food, buy things you can trade with, a barter system. I got a can of peaches. If you got to pay some Band-Aids, I can't give you answers to that because I don't know the answers. I just know what I have seen. And I'm like, why are these colleges not getting prepared? And it's the government funded money. Trump said, bring them in. You know what Trump gonna do when these kids and these teachers start getting sick? He gonna stand in front of the TV and look like he normally does. The fool he is. He don't care. He don't care. And when somebody's life is on the line, it ain't no oops, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No, there's not an apology you can make. But I hate to say, this is what may happen. When it happens, people are going to be real upset. But it goes into the minds. Yeah, DeVos, I can't. Oh, that one right there. I don't think Betty DeVos can. Woo, I don't like her. Period. I'm like, yo, You go, but with Big Judy. Betty DeVos is reason these student loans the way it is right now. I got more words for her than Trump. I could tolerate Trump more than her. But it's about money. It's about money. And it's a shame that our children and other people's children have to succumb to this environment because of money. Because each student is a dollar sign for schools. It's not about learning, it's a dollar sign. More students, more bodies, the more money they make. But instead change, because you can easily shift the norm and go into a virtual. Do you realize how easy that is if you have the money and the manpower and the knowledge? Stop going to get these IT people that don't understand. Go get you a strong IT team that can help you build an environment that can be able to handle the traffic, to be able to up to date where the kids, and then like some parents don't have internet. These government funded things, they can go ahead and help these parents get internet. Some of these mamas walk around here with iPhones. So they can get internet, but there are ways around this, but I'm only one person. I'm only looking at things from my standpoint. Someone may listen and say, Sister E, you're wrong, which is fine. But I know right now, that's good. That's very good. They were handing out Chromebooks and had virtual schools ready. And that's easy. They just don't want to do it. I'm telling y'all, get y'all babies' immune systems up and going. Because some of these parents gonna send their children in there and they're gonna be sick. Some of these parents gonna be sick. Some of these teachers are gonna be sick. I don't think this is gonna be good, y'all. When you look at the wave 2 of the Spanish flu, this is not gonna be good. I've already started kind of getting my kiddo prepared. I said, freshman year is not gonna be what you think it is. We going virtual. Just to be safe. Just to see what this first semester look like. I know you want the college experience, but understand there will be, even the colleges are saying, if they come back, it's not going to be like they expected. It's going to be class, dorm room. Limited bodies in the cafeteria. Limited bodies in the room. Limited bodies congregating. That means no freshman week, no homecoming, no nothing. So I said, look, we just going to have to deal with what we got to deal with, but virtual shall be your choice. Because I'm not putting you in that sick air. So it is what it is. I mean, you got to prepare and be prepared for what's to come. And I'm not making this just a black thing. It's black and white people are impacted by this. I know we Israel, 100%. Who the people? We the people. But people in general are going to be impacted by this. When you think about it, the people that were marching, I think it was in Ohio, they were all Trump supporters. They was upset. They ain't got no jobs. Yeah. We're finna see the economy tank. Exactly what they want to do. That's why they shutting people like Kelly down. They need Kelly to be quiet so they can get their little agenda pushed forward. And as long as people like Kelly and them are saying, y'all, look, this is, and they finna shut him down. They shut him down fast. I ain't never seen that before. When I tell you he got on there and everybody started logging in and you saw that screen pop up, you're like, man, they moving faster now. Excuse me, they at least halfway let you get through the video. Now they don't even let you get to the video. I'll tell you something. But I got another one to show y'all. I'm telling y'all, and I ain't trying to be gloom doom. I pray that everything that I'm saying is wrong. I hope everything I say is wrong. I really do. But we got to be real. Not to mention Make sure y'all go ahead and change our political party to non-affiliate, because November 3rd, I think, is the presidential election. Yeah, that's too much going on at one time. I'm ready for Yeshua to come on, because it's like one thing after the next. So we're about to walk into a presidential election this year in the middle of COVID. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. But let me show y'all something. What's going on in Florida? Florida decides to open up Disney. You know, Trump, he's a Trump supporter, following this dude down a cliff and taking his people, his people with him down that cliff. So Florida's numbers are just horrible right now. Horrible. What about the military partnership between Iran and China? I haven't looked into that totally. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. But understand that these countries watching us too. They weak.
Finds itself in a.
So yeah, this is gonna be a tsunami. COVID is just gonna be the earthquake. The tsunami is the other things that's gonna come after the fact. I'm sharing. Here we go. This is Florida. All right, hold on.
Tonight, Florida finds itself in a harsh spotlight. The state was one of the first to reopen. Now, it's breaking records for new infections. Our Lilia Luciano has the troubling story there and across the country.
Tonight, Florida shatters the record for the most new daily cases of any state throughout the pandemic, more than 15,000. It's all rising. Positive COVID tests, hospitalizations, deaths, and temperatures across the country.
It's 104, and we're dying.
To cool off, California's packed beaches. Masks are mandated and social distancing encouraged.
We're trying to find a place that is somewhat close to the water, but away from people.
In Houston, a troubling sight at this water park. People escaping the heat without masks, and for health experts, too close for comfort. There are youths in Texas still testing their fate on purpose.
They had attended a COVID party. People get together and to see if the virus is real and if anyone gets infected.
San Antonio doctor Jane Appleby has a dire warning straight from her patient's last words. He was 30 years old.
Just before the patient died, they looked at their nurse and they said, "I think I made a mistake. I thought this was a hoax, but it's not."
12 states this past week recorded positivity rates higher than 10%. 7 set out or tied records for average daily deaths. Wow. With death tolls rising, morgues in Texas and Arizona are running out of space, forcing counties to bring in refrigerated trucks. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego.
We are setting records of the type you don't want to set for the use of ventilators by COVID patients, acute care beds.
Still, Arizona does not have a mask requirement. Louisiana did have a mask mandate, and the governor is reversing reopenings with this warning.
I want people to understand we have no reason to believe that the numbers that we've been reporting over the last few days are going to get any better.
And that goes for much of the country. Here in California, more than 7,000 people have died. The positivity rate is almost 8%. That is the highest that it's been since April. And here in Los Angeles, it's even worse. 10% of all tests are coming back positive. Jamie?
Troubling numbers. Lilia, thank you.
Okay. Man. Yeah, I know they count some of the probable cases, but I don't want to take this too lightly, because what I learned with the Spanish flu, they took it lightly as well. And wave 1 was kind of like our wave 1. Wave 2 was they had the same behavior, the exact same behavior when wave 2 rolled around. And wave 2 is what we hear about in history. We don't hear about wave 1. We always hear about wave 2 in history, because that's the wave that we saw the most deaths. Let me see. I'm going to pull this up real quick. You know what? I have a box of Target sells a box of masks. Somebody said they're not wearing. Yeah, no one wears a mask in Florida, and the beaches are packed. Man, look, I buy a box. It's a box of masks I buy, and it's like 20 disposable, and I keep them in the car. And every time I take one off, throw it away. I may wear it twice, and then I get a new one. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Is this the one? Hold on, I'm trying to find that I saw about the Spanish flu. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I found my video. I'm trying to find it. I don't want to play the long one. Let me see. Let me see. Let me clear my filter out and go back. Hold on. I think I've shown this before. Let me see. Let me see. And it talks about the waves with Spanish flu. We can't take this too lightly. Shalom, Sister E. Why do you think Trump is he's lax because he's special. He's a candidate for the slow bus. That's why. I try not to, make it look. If they say it's a disease, it's a disease. If it's a hoax, that's fine. I pray that it is. But I'm the type, I'm always make sure that I'm very prepared for whatever, to come. We know they playing with these numbers, but we don't totally know that they're playing with these numbers. It's almost 20 some odd million people that could be evicted. That's crazy. Let's see. But what we need to be prepared for is for the aftermath. I know everybody's like, Hamashiach's coming. That's our only concern. But he said, watch as well as pray. He's also told us to be prepared for what's to come. Rapture has gotten people so comfortable that they feel like they don't need to be prepared. And that's all that rapture doctrine did, was prepare people for the beast system. Because someone said this to me. It said, so if your child is hungry and starving, you don't know what you will do. And I'm not saying I would do it, no. But I'm just saying, some people, you just don't know what some people will do. But because everybody's like, oh, no need to worry, we're going to fly away, we ain't going to have to deal with this. That whole escape mentality has now gotten people caught up right now. And they don't even realize that we're in the midst of the tribulation right now. There's some Christians walking around here like, no, we ain't going to be here for it. Like, oh, so this ain't we ain't been
the parallels between the coronavirus pandemic and the Spanish flu that ravaged our world more than...
1 second. I'm trying to... Hold on. I'm trying to go to the video. It's talking about the Spanish flu. Hold on. But yeah, that escapism, man. Hold on. Oh, Audrey, I'll tell you in a minute what happened to Pastor Kelly. He did a video about the Jewish, I know that's the new term now everybody using, people. And they shut his video down before they could, he could talk about it. I'll tell you about it. Hold on.
The parallels between the coronavirus pandemic and the Spanish flu that ravaged our world more than 100 years ago are striking. In Washington state, the Spanish flu outbreak peaked in the final months of 1918. And like we're seeing today, when the number of deaths began to decline, many removed their masks and let their guards down. Historian and executive director at MOHI, Leonard Garfield.
Seattleites could stay home no longer. They poured into the streets. They gathered in large crowds downtown, and the newspaper reporters said that there was not a mask in sight. They thought they were in the clear, but they weren't.
The second wave of the Spanish flu hit in late 1918. Let's compare. Today, it's been nearly 4 months since the first case of coronavirus was reported in Washington state. And in that time, there have been just under 1,000 deaths linked to the virus. According to old CDC archives, the first 4 months of the Spanish flu outbreak resulted in the death of an estimated 4,500 Washington residents. Then after 4 months, the second wave of the Spanish flu took hold. The new spike later that winter resulted in the death of another 2,000 Washington residents, according to our breakdown of old health records. That means 50% fewer cases in the second wave. To slow the spread of the flu the second time around, local officials took more drastic measures.
They quickly took action, but they realized they could not force everyone back home again. They could not close businesses down again. So what they did is they focused very intensely on people who presented as symptomatic.
There's no way to know what the future holds today, but warnings from top health officials indicate a second wave of the virus is almost certain. It's only a matter of how we're prepared.
And Mimi, so bottom line, Spanish flu, far more deadly, at least so far, that we've seen against coronavirus. 6,500 people died of Spanish flu then. A big distinction, which was interesting, Spanish flu emerged entering into the fall flu season. COVID-19, as we know it, emerged into spring. And there was another resurgence, a third and fourth wave into the fall the following year, Mimi, as we are likely expected to see with coronavirus. But it was only about a quarter of those cases.
Well, it's good to look back and try to learn from the past and also be prepared as we head into the future.
What's crazy is, y'all,
New CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk.
We about to go into the fall. This is, what's today's date? Hold on. It is July 13th. Yeah, as of today. July 13th. And I don't have the flu. I don't have the COVID. I have the allergies. Cleaning my car out. But we're about to enter into the fall. Right? They getting ready to send these children to school right when the fall season is about to rear her ugly head. And guess what? When fall comes, flu season comes. Y'all, I pray that this doesn't happen. I pray that everything that I'm saying is not true. Hey, Azza. Shalom, my brother. But I pray everything I'm saying it doesn't come to pass. I pray that I come back and say, oh, I'm wrong, people. Because me being wrong means that lives are good. Nobody lost anything. But, man, we can go back to school during fall. Man. They ain't got their hands around this, and they want us to put these kids in. I told my poor sweet little daughter, look, my daughter loves animals, and she loves like little turtles and stuff. And I told her I'd buy her every single turtle she can think of, just so you can realize you're gonna have to be home this semester. Because your life is not worth. I mean, this is not worth your life. That's what I meant. Having your fun semester is not worth your life, because guess what happens? It's not going to be fun. Y'all going to have to go in y'all rooms. When y'all done, everybody to their room. It's going to be almost like prison. And you're going to be calling me and telling me, can you come get me? What? We're going to go ahead and make that plan now. You know. And my heart goes out to the parents that have special needs kids, that need that special undivided attention, like kids that have autism. You know, my daughter brought that up. She said, man, what about the kids that have autism? I said, yep. I said, they parents trying to hurry up and send them to school. And it's really because they know how, but they don't know how to manage their kids. You know, the school system has been helping you with your kid. Now you got to deal with your kid head on. Then not to mention you got to work. You know, it's a lot of things into play. But it's a lot of things. I'm trying to get back to work. Or if I am working, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm scratching my head because it felt like, I guess I got these little these things in my head to hold it, and it's kind of caught me off guard. It almost stung me in the head. But with that being said, yeah, they need extra attention. Man, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I ain't scared by no means, because I know who has control. But saints better get their head up out the sand. And yes, I think somebody asked me about the rapture. I believe that the Most High is going to, he's coming. He's coming to destroy. I think that there is going to be where it's going to be like a transform. We're going to change. Is people going to have no longer have bodies of flesh, but are going to have the spiritual bodies that they speak of. I believe that's going to happen. But you got to realize, I said, why are we rapturing up when he's coming down and he's going to reign here for 1,000 years? I'm like, that. I'm confused. Is he going to put us in a waiting room while he destroy everything? That's what I started saying. I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. So where are we going to be raptured up to come back here? Oh, you're going to be raptured up so you can change your bodies. You can do that right there. Man, folks be coming up with stuff. But yeah, the rapture doctrine, that was actually made up by men. Escape player. You know, maybe they saw in the books that they weren't in it. So they were like, we got to find a way to make it seem like we are part of it. So yeah, that's a question. This is something that servant of Yah asked. I ain't come to the conclusion. What's your conclusion? Yeah, the Jesuit wait a minute, doctrine. I have a 29-year-old Down syndrome daughter, and they need structure. If it interrupts you, she's not happy. They need it. So sad my daughter's done with school. Yeah. I got a cousin that has a mild brain damage, and he can he still functions. He walks, he talks, he functions. His speech is a little he doesn't speak. But he does let you know when you need things. He's grown though. He's like 30 some odd years old now. And I was thinking about that. I said, wow, I wonder how my aunt is dealing with. But you know, black, I ain't gonna say black, you know, some parents, even though they know how to handle, you know, take care of those kids, because he hear his mama's voice, he still be like, oh, she ain't playing with me. He goes sit down real fast. But yeah, they do need structure. They need that structure. They need that time, and they need that attention. So I wonder how, because you can't do virtual school with them. Excuse me. My people are destroyed for it. Yep, we are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. But we gotta be prepared. You know, everybody's waiting for, you know, the rapture, the escape. It says those that endure until the end shall be saved. When I actually really read that scripture again and got that Eurocentric Christianity out of my head and really read the scriptures for what they were, I said, they have played us. They have literally played us to think. First, the church made it, the Eurocentric church made it seem like that when Jesus come, he coming nice as a lamb and just gonna be so sweet. Man, when he get on the scene, he destroying folks. They scared because they scared they gonna be in line. They play like he gonna come and you just go, he ain't playing when he come. So this whole Eurocentric doctrine has got folks screwed up right now, because it ain't gonna be pretty. Then they taught us, you know, you ain't got to worry about what's going on. You're gonna be raptured up. What happens here is gonna be for the wicked, and ain't gonna be us. And you know, sometimes I've even heard people teach that he's coming to get us, then coming back and get those who endure through the tribulation and take them up. I said, wait a minute, that is not the Bible. He ain't Saints added the number of times he coming back. I was like, wait, but ain't nobody talking about that 1,000-year reign. I ain't heard no church preach 1,000-year reign. They preach rapture. And I'm like, do y'all read the Bible? I just want to ask that question sometimes. Y'all read Revelation, or do y'all just brush through the pages real quick and get to the part where you're going to get your crown? Stop. You know, tell us what's going to happen, serving y'all. But I mean, I'm serious. I'm like, what was y'all reading? What was I reading? I wasn't reading. That's the thing. When I read it, I closed that book. I was like, I promise you, I said, I'm finna go through this book, read it and listen to it. I used to be at work and I would have my headphones on, listen to audio Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I needed answers. I said, I got to hear this. I sat out for a minute. I told some of my friends from church, I said, I'm finna sit this out for a minute. I need to really, really, really see God. Well, you need to be at church. I need quiet time with him because I done found out I'm an Israelite and I'm not too convinced. I wasn't at first. When I read that Bible from the front to the back, I didn't read a little here, there a little, front to back. I see it. And when I got to Revelation, I was ready to call some of these pastors up and say, you know what? I heard a minister preach a prosperity gospel with getting your crown at the end of it. She had twisted those scriptures up. I said, but old me, unlearned, would have been shouting right with her. New me, I was looking at the TV. I was like, girl, don't you do that to those scriptures. Don't you dare do that. When she talked about like crown now, prosperity type doctrine, I'm like, I'm over it now. Some of these folks just, I don't know. But let me see. And the thing is, you see like the Church of Philadelphia. That was another indicator that they gonna be all right. I said, well, if he didn't call everybody up in the air, who is the Church of Philadelphia? I got a little confused on that one. Then I really read that one thing. Those that endure until the end shall be saved. I said, wait a minute. Hold on. Endure to the end. Hold on. I'm supposed to be caught up. No. That means I got to sit and endure this. But then I heard about the Exodus and read about the Exodus. I said, wait a minute. There is going to be an Exodus. So it's a lot. It's a lot, saints. I'm going back over it again, though, because I feel like I need to go from beginning to end, because this is going to be interesting. Some days I'm just going to read Revelation. But you can't just read Revelation. You got to read Daniel. You got to read Isaiah. You got to read Joel. You got to read all the books. They never talked about the books in that manner until I started reading it. And I was following Stephen Darby. So Servant of Yah said, let's walk this out. Servant of Yah finna give us something. But yeah, it's gonna be and I'm not low about it. I just know it's coming. I'm more so sleepy. I was gonna do a live early, and then Pastor Kelly said he was gonna do his live. And the time he did his live, I would have been able to hop on mine right after, a little bit earlier. But when everything happened, I was like, wait, they shutting down videos now. So, but yeah. These scriptures they've been played with. First, the Most High will gather the children of Israel and take them into the wilderness. Yes. Who has guns and a place to go? Rodney Frederick. Wait a minute. Stop that. You're talking about guns and a place to go. So he said, Servant of Yah said this. Yep, I really believe that. He's going to gather his children up and he's going to take us into the wilderness. Now we're getting this wilderness, saints. Wilderness, people don't realize wilderness does not mean you made it. Wilderness means because you still have to You still have a journey within itself. That's why he said, I'm taking you there and I'm going to commune with you one. And some people ain't going to receive him, just like they did not receive him in the wilderness during the first Exodus. Pass under the rod. You don't make it under. Oh my God. The rod means what? Judgment. Oh gosh. I ain't upset about it. I'm just sitting here like purging out the passing of the rod. Oh, wow. See, folks don't talk about that. Now, I will say this. Some folks in the Israelite community be talking about that wilderness. I'm like, y'all realize that wilderness is going to be a test for us as well. Yep. I'm excited about that wilderness, but your heart better be right, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. He said, I will bring you into the wilderness of the nations, and there, face to face, I will execute judgment upon you. Ooh, saints. Yeah, I'd rather that than the mark of the beast, Ashandi. I do agree with that. I'm just saying, everybody's like, I can't wait till we get to the wilderness. And I said, the wilderness that's not done yet. He's finna purge out these rebels. I ain't worried, because I'm like, I'm so scared of him. He'll be like, I ain't got to worry about her. She ain't gonna do nothing. No, I'm just joking. I'm not scared of the most. I fear him in the way he wants us to fear him. He bringing it. Y'all don't see the emails he give me. Hold on. He says, there goes. Yep. Serving y'all, you moving so fast. Hold on. Yeah, I'd rather take that wilderness than that mark. Yes, Yemi said this. I'm finna just post some of these comments that he said. Hold on. Yes. Take it out of me. There we go. And you know what? I might do a show talking about the wilderness. Wilderness. I can't get it out right now. Because it is a purging. Let me see. I'm looking at the comments. All right, certainly y'all. You know what, certainly y'all? You want to be on the show? No, I'm just messing with you, because I know you. Hold on. Let me see. He says, yep, I agree. He says, okay, let's look at the frame, the time frame they will be in the wilderness, 3.5 years. That's during the tribulation. Yeah, I agree with you. Rob Moses. Only the true children of the light, which are the children of God, will find the royal priesthood. And he said, certainly, I said the wilderness will be 3.5 years. Correct. So, yeah. But during that time, he will be communing with us one by one. And I'm looking at serving y'all stuff. But yep, it's going to be an interesting time. And it's going to be a time that those who know him, I think will find peace in the wilderness. Wilderness. I can't get it out. Hold on. I can show you the scripture. My computer's moving like really slow right now, y'all. Excuse me. Let me see. I think it's so. I think it's Revelation 13:5. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemy. I think no. That's not it. That's not it. Hold on. Hold on. Why serving to y'all? Hold on. Revelation 12:17. Thank you. I just saw it. Dragon with horse. Y'all, it's lit in here talking about 3.5 years. 1/3 shall be cut off. Yep, because of what? Have two things happen at the same time. Y'all got these scriptures lit in here. I'm trying my best to go ahead and end because I'm sleepy, but I want to see what else. It's good conversation and I don't want to stop it. I might set up something tomorrow and see if you Yakoba, we can kind of talk through the wilderness. Yeah, we'll be talking all night because this is. Yep, Israel will be in the wilderness. I can't talk. Wilderness protected. Okay, so we're gonna. I'm gonna set up some time. I'm gonna do some research myself because I am not an expert on the wilderness. I can't get this out, but I know Yakoba is. I'm gonna see if he got some time and we can sit down and talk through it. And I get a couple of things that I found and we can kind of talk through it. I'm gonna see if I can set that up this week and we could talk about that because it sounds like this is gonna be an interesting conversation that we need to discuss. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring him on. Me and him will talk about it. And I reach out to him. Are you out here, Yakoba? He's probably not out here. Hold on. I'll set that up and we'll do that. Yeah, Yakoba was Darby. Well, no. Weird thing is, Tayu and Darby were at the same time for me, and they both talked about the wilderness, but Yakoba talks about it more. So we'll talk about it. I enjoyed this conversation. And I'm gonna make sure we bring some good information when it comes to this. See. Oh wow, it's a lot going on in this chat. This chat is more interesting than what's going on right now. So I don't want to just sit out here and stare, but I'm gonna do this. Have y'all subscribed to Let's Talk with Sister E on my Facebook? I may create a Facebook chat, but if I create that Facebook chat, y'all better act right, and we can have these type of conversations because it's very good. dialogue for us to have to verify everything. Man, this is gonna be interesting. But what I'll do is this. Hold tight, serving to y'all. I'm gonna bring Yacoba. I'm gonna bring a couple of other people on and we can kind of talk through it. You can't do Facebook. We had a couple people do that. They couldn't do Facebook. Berean had something like that. When I used to be on Berean's channel, we would have a chat, and in the chat, we would all have conversation before we'd have a we'd have conversation before we have a live. So we'd all talk through our live ideas and then in the chat, and then we'll proceed on. But as you all can see, I'm getting sleepy, and I do want to do some more research, and get my get our talking points together, because this will be a good conversation. We all talk about the Exodus a lot, but I don't hear should do Discord. Well, I don't understand what you're saying. You should do Discord, Sister E. What is Discord? But we never talk about the wilderness. I've never heard anybody other than Yacoba. But we gonna have this conversation because nobody talks about it. If I do a chat, I'll let y'all know and I'll put it in the link. And we can do it that way. I'll look into Discord and see if I can do that. We can all have a chat and we can all talk. But again, we never talk about the wilderness. They never talk about, the rod of judgment. They never talk about all these different things that's going to transpire, because everybody's not going to make it into the kingdom. I hate to say that. So, with that being said, I will, but other people have said otherwise, that they think everybody's going to make it into the kingdom. Some say 1/3, some say the 2/3 are. I've heard people say 2/3 happened in 70 AD. I've even heard some people say 2/3 that were destroyed actually happened during the transatlantic slave trade. I've heard that as well. What I'll do is I just set up and we'll talk about the wilderness, and I'll invite Yacoba, and we'll sit down and we'll talk through it, because it is good to have this conversation. And I'm gonna do my due diligence and get my stuff together so we can be able to talk. I might be on the road. I'm going out of town here soon, and we'll be prepared though. But I have enjoyed this conversation. I am getting sleepy. Hit that like button. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I heard that the 1/3 is already prevalent, that the 2/3 were done away in the slave trade. I've heard that. I've heard that too. Yes, we know what your topic is. Rob Moses, I'm gonna have you on here one day, and we're gonna all have a conversation. And Rob Moses, I'm gonna have Berean on here, and y'all gonna act like y'all got good sense while y'all on here. Between you and Berean, y'all gonna get along. I'm just messing with y'all. But I really enjoyed the conversation. But I will set up Ezekiel chapter 5. Yes, I didn't even think about that. Yes, read. Yeah, we're gonna have a deeper conversation. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I will plan something, like I said, this week. We'll talk about during the wilderness period, what's going to happen, or, based off the Bible, what's going to happen. And we'll go from there. But family, I have enjoyed this, and I hope you all have enjoyed today, talking about what's going on. But this has opened up a whole nother conversation. I think it'll be a good combo. And I'll reach out to Yacoba and Tayu. I'm trying to get Tayu on, but I know Tayu gonna eventually be on. Get him on. We all have a good combo. So, but family, good night and have a blessed day on today. Not because we're already on Monday. I may be doing some shows. I gotta go on the road here soon. So if you see me in a hotel or, you know, at some different sites, because I do want to go visit Jamestown. I want to see what that looks like. And I may do a live recording there if they let me, or I may just have to record it and upload it, or do a live showing the recording. But yeah, I'll do that. But hopefully, like I said, this week I can get, hopefully, I'm going to see if I can get them tomorrow night. I kind of want to do that before I go on the road, and we can sit down and talk about that. All right, family, good night.